So we've been making a lot of changes at Hyvio, and we've been completely revamping the product. It was very much just your standard service-based business. Like all of the communication was done via email. There was no systems in place to really manage everything. We had to go chase changes. We had to go chase revisions. So the first thing that I did when I was brought on was to build out the new online multi-step form. And that was a huge improvement from just sending out PDFs to our clients where they would have to fill that out. And I just continue to see how we could make that better and continue to take it one step further, up until the point that we now have a fully working dashboard for all of our clients, that you are able to now have a single location where all of information that we offer is there, where you can make all of your changes, where you can request changes, where you can view analytics. All of it's now within a single place. I think it's really going to allow us to scale so much easier. And we think that our clients are going to have a better experience. They're going to be happier with the product that we're offering. But when you make big major changes like how people use your product, that can always be a little intimidating, because if you start switching things, especially if it's like new ownership coming in, we've changed the name, we've updated the branding, we're now changing the product, we're changing the way that you go through and make changes and updates. I was a little nervous that people would feel uneasy about this, and a lot of people don't like change. So we're like, how can we alleviate any fears or any uncertainties that people might feel as it's something that's really big? We wanted to introduce this in a careful way, but in a way that hopefully got people excited about the changes. So we wanted to create a new page on our website announcing this change and announcing all the exciting updates. And we wanted to keep it really simple. So we created just a single video here that goes through this new dashboard, and it's just me talking to this camera and really trying to drive home all the major improvements and how this is going to be better for them in the long run. It's just a single video embed here.
How's it going? I'm Alex, and the head of product here at Hyvio.
Simple stuff. So really just came in here, try to show off the product, show everything that you're going to be able to do, all the new updates. And what we're trying to do is announce it, get people excited, and then try to ease any of their concerns. So we're trying to get all of our clients to schedule a time to see a more in-depth dashboard where we can show them how to use the dashboard, how we can answer any questions that they might have. And so I think that this is really important when you make big changes to a product or something that you're doing. If it's new ownership, you really want to try and calm everybody's nerves. And I think that's by being open, communicating, and being transparent about all the things that are happening. So I built all this inside of Framer. This was just a simple page that I made here. I just mostly copied components that we had from our existing pages, just updated the copy and things like that. So we had all of our clients' emails, and so we had to just come in and build out a template email to basically intrigue them, tell them what was happening, and then give them a reason to go to that web page. So we built out just a simple GIF. I added a play button on it to try to incentivize them to click on it and show them that this is something that you click on, that you can watch. And then just kind of give them a little bit of a rundown of what it is that we're doing, just so they don't feel like they're going in blind into some GIF that they don't understand. So I just built this inside of Premiere where I edited the video. I just created this play graphic, added that on top, and exported it out. And then we had a whole bunch of emails that we needed to send this to, and I didn't want to have to write these individually, and I didn't really want to have to use like a third-party tool like an Apollo or something like that. And so I found this tool called Gmass, which is basically an extension that lives inside of your Gmail, that you can import spreadsheets from Google Sheets. They can pull data and information from that. I had Claude help me organize them with their names, with their emails, what organization, what company they're a part of. We had 2 different type of clients, targets that we were going after. So I made 2 different drafts. One of them was for our employers. The other one was for our brokers. And then I just simply added all of this information here. That page that I showed earlier, that Framer page, we also had 2 different pages for our 2 different clients that spoke more directly to them. I made 2 different versions of the video, one being for our clients that have a couple of different features, and adding a few different Q&As at the bottom of the webpage that speak more directly to our brokers. But a couple of things for you to know if you're sending things out and you're using a GIF. This is something like if you use Loom, this does it automatically, where it creates a GIF, it embeds it into your email, and it sends out, and it's really nice and easy. And I wanted that, but I didn't want to just use a Loom video. I wanted it to feel a little bit more of like an announcement. So I actually filmed it, I edited it, I added some music, some motion graphics to really make it feel more elevated. So if you're sending this out to multiple people within something like Gmass and you have a GIF in it that you want to attach like for this purpose that I'm using. If you just do that on the single template and then you send it out, what's going to happen is the GIF isn't going to be able to attach. It's just going to be the alt text. And so in order to get the GIF to show up, you need to host that GIF somewhere. So what I had to do instead was come onto here on Imager, imgur.com. This is something that you can just simply like upload something where it can be hosted at. You can drag your GIF here. It'll start uploading it, post to the gallery. Once you post it, you can copy this, say copy image address, and then you can come right in here. Come down here into insert photo, go over here to web address. You can just paste in your URL. It'll show up here. You can insert that image, and then you have your GIF that is here. And then in order to get the actual URL, it's not the link to the image or post, but it's right-clicking on the image itself and then copying the image address. Then just highlight it and click Command K, where you're going to be able to paste a link, and then you'll be able to create a clickable element. So you can just put your link or your URL that you want for that right there. And once you apply that, then that becomes a clickable link that when they click on it, it'll redirect them to that link. Using GMass was really easy. Otherwise, you just come here that you can connect to your spreadsheet, and you can select which page. So if you have multiple pages, you can click the one that you want. It'll connect to the spreadsheet. Then it'll import the recipients that are in that spreadsheet. And at first I thought this @gmass.co domain was going to be the emails that it was sending from, but that's just basically taking all of your recipients and adding it into one. And so it's still going to be sending from whichever email you are using. Then you can write your email here. You can add your subject line. You can add your GIF, but you can also, if you do curly brackets, you'll be able to have all of the columns that you have. So you can add that here. So if you hit like, if you write, hey, first name, it will replace that with the user's first name. Then you can come on here, write your email that you want. And then what you can do is you click right here, you can go to your settings. You can send a test email. I would highly recommend that you send a test email. A lot of these are on the paid plan. Again, I'm just using the free version for this just because I needed to send it out to a handful of emails. You can track opens and clicks. I would just be cautious of this because I sent these out and a handful of clients, I think it was like 10, they got blocked because of security risks. It was all within the same company, and they had some security measures in place that because of the tracking, a lot of the times it sees that and then just rejects the email. But I got an email from GMass really fast saying, hey, we saw that a lot of this was being blocked because of this is in place with these people's emails. You can have it checked before it sends, and if it detects this certain security parameter on their emails, it has an alternate delivery route. And so it fixed that pretty easy. I was able to send them all out and they sent fine. Then on my second batch, I had that enabled and I didn't get any blocks from any of the emails, so it worked pretty well. But you come here and then you can send a test email. Okay, and then here's the test email. The GIF came through. If I click on that, it takes me to the page that I'm looking for. That's perfect. And then all you do is you basically can schedule this when you want it to send, or you can send it right then and there, and then it'll start to send out to all of the people. So this is a pretty easy way if you have a good chunk of list of emails that you need to send out to clients, announcing something, updating something, and it needs to go across the organization. You can get started with GMass for free. I think you get something like 60, 70 emails per day. But GMass is a good option if you want to send something from your own email domain. I don't really know how it is if you're going to be using subdomains, because if you're going to be using this to actually go hunt for leads, be careful using your own email, and it's better to find sub emails that you can use on top of that, because if your domain trust gets hurt, that's really hard to recover. And if you are using your personal email and you're trying to communicate to a client, but your emails keep showing up in spam, then that's going to be a problem. So just be aware of that. Do your research more on that. If you're going to be using this for lead generation, look into that more. My use case for this was just using our already existing clients that we already message, we already email, but I wanted to send it in a faster way than me having to write up an email or copy and paste it for every single account. One other thing that I'll just quickly mention is I was wanting to play and try this with Claude, because I know that Claude is able to access Gmail now. And I thought maybe there's a way that I can have Claude write up these emails, copy it, and then even add a little bit more personalization per each person. I started to do it where I was able to log into my email, was able to click around, create new drafts, but it was such a slow process that I felt like it wasn't even worth my time doing that. So just want to put that there. That's something that I did test. Curious to see how that's going to go forward, in the future, but right now it's just not quite there. Okay, that's it for this video today. Give it a like if you thought it was helpful, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.